we are so easily prompt to tell our testimony, but it's not the real one. I'm Nike Greene. I'm the author of Nike, More Than a Name, It's My Life, From Trauma to Triumph. The reason I wrote this book was we did prison ministry for years, and an inmate was leaving and wanted to know if she could hear the end of my story. When the Bible says they overcome by the words of their testimony, the problem is we don't tell the true testimony. But I kept thinking about that little Nike. If she would have picked up this book and she would have read this, she may have talked with somebody before trying to commit suicide. She may have reached out and said, hey, let's have this conversation before I make a decision about an abortion. She may have would have went somewhere, but it was gut wrenching and yet so freeing to write it. But my prayer was that somebody out there like myself would pick up this book and realize they're not alone. They're not isolated, that they're not crazy, that they're not losing their mind. Like, this stuff is real and it hurts. And they can have that hard conversation, just like Martha. Dude, God, if you would have been here, this stuff wouldn't have happened. And he's big enough to handle that. But I didn't want them to think that they were on that journey alone. 3 key takeaways from my book would be healing, hope, and I would say don't get stuck. And I say it in those 3 order is because although I am talking about trauma and our experiences are real, it's not just trauma. This is about moving to healing and that we continue to hold on to hope. It's a counter narrative to every story that sits around and admires problems. We're not doing that. We're saying there is a finish line and we can become healed and we can become our best self and what God created us to be. Piece of advice I have for youth workers is to do your own work. You have to do your work. You have to be open for God to continue to process you in every stage of your life. And one of the things that are so important when we talk about healing from trauma is that we can't take someone somewhere that we've never been. And it's going to be hard to go through healing. But if you've never done your work and you've never taken your journey, then it's going to be hard to take that 15-year-old to that place of pain and you've never addressed yours. So do your self-work. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. If you get a hold of this book and you're determined to make it to the end and see your full self, you should grab the book.